No experts, no insiders, just fans.
The longest-running weekly, overproduced, under-talented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast.
Music, please.
He's an angry elf.
Your mom goes to college.
The booty go. It's still real to me, damn it.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Welcome to Monday Night Rawsome. I am your host, A-Baum. Dynamic duo style tonight, I guess, is what you would call it. The executive producer across the table from me.
He's an angry elf.
Roadie Rob, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know. As soon as it came to the main screen, instead of my normal fade out, the music just absolutely went down to zero. It's like you made the setting right. The camera's not quite right, and we're watching a terrible television show in the background. And my co-host ran away from the mic right at the start of the show. So we're off to a great start. On the board, let's see who's with us. We got Berto, we got Bang Bus, we got Juan. Sounds like a trip to INS.
What the fuck? Oh, INS?
Yeah, never mind.
You're so...
You couldn't just let it go.
You got to be sensitive right now about shit going... Go ahead.
I don't think in terms of that.
Okay.
I'm going for comedy's sake.
I know you are.
I'm equally abusive to all ethnicities, just like my own.
Great.
Lots of stuff happened tonight. Some of it was worthy of some good talks.
Yeah.
A big one we're going to lead off with is Brian chose his girlfriend's birthday over us tonight.
Excuse Mountain.
Yeah. Happy birthday to her, but
Yeah.
Screw you, Brian.
Yeah, right? It figures... So we postponed our bi-weekly weigh-in for our weight loss challenge because of fucking... Brian didn't show up.
Well, he gained weight before the holidays.
Right.
You know he wasn't going to do good today.
I wasn't excited about it either, but, you know.
I think this is just simply a case of she's out of his league and he had to pay his due tonight.
Yeah.
That's why we never get Kevin on Tuesday, just FYI. So what do we do? The sound effects, I don't know if you know, our executive producer hasn't updated them, but this is what we do right here. You ready?
Yeah.
And now live from the U-Record Studios, it's the Rawsome Awards. Here's...
Gonna start it off. It is our Make Your Own Awards is how we do it now. If you're new to the show, old to the show, don't know, Make Your Own Awards. You get 2 to 3. Brian always cheats, and we could predict Brian's awards without him even being here, right? We're gonna have the Ascension Award.
Yes.
You know, and then he's going to give one away.
To, like, heavy metal rock band or something
No,
like
I mean, literally give one away. Like, oh, I don't want to give the third one out.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There wasn't one worthy. I'm going to give it to you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Berto's asking, where is Steve? And Juan says, that's so racist. I'm sorry, Juan. It wasn't meant to be that way. There was a really terrible skit that made me laugh called The Amazing Racist, which shouldn't be laughed at, but I'm just warped that way.
You're just digging the hole.
I'm just warped
What
that
are
way.
we doing right now?
It's the Rawsome Awards.
Is this a wrestling podcast?
You make up your own awards here. This is before we get into the big-ass topics. This is just to make your own awards. Rob, I'll give you an example.
I know how to play the game.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go first anyway.
Okay.
My first award is the Next Guy Up Award. Apparently, that is Elias. Hey, Roman's hurt. We need a top face. Let's go with Braun. Braun's hurt. Elias, you're up.
Oh, that shit's on Elias. Come on.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't prepare him well enough to get to this point. They didn't prepare themselves.
He's been over as fuck forever.
Yes,
Come on.
but he he's not. He hasn't been positioned where he should have been, and now the spotlight is.
Where should he have been there, almighty Adam?
I think he should have been positioned to actually have feuds and stuff in the mid card and advance his status instead of.
Well, there's what you know, because apparently that's not what you need to do.
Okay, but if you're not an average watcher of TV every week, Rob,
Yeah.
he hasn't been on a pay-per-view. If you're just the casual fan that watches those,
Are those fans still around? The casual fans?
I think
that
they
watch
are
at
for the big four. Survivor Series still holds clout. Royal Rumble still holds clout outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
WrestleMania for sure.
Okay.
I think at least SummerSlam. You know, like
Yeah.
hell, doesn't ESPN talk about SummerSlam and shit now?
I don't know.
What's your first award?
Mine is it's the All About You award goes to Natty.
Me? Oh,
no,
oh,
not
Natty.
you fucker. To Natty. Because when they're doing the Rhonda segment with Nia and there's Tamina, and it just somehow all of that became about Natty. And I'm just like, why does it always end up being about Natty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something out there. Bang Bus GM has the 26 Days Award.
Oh.
Says 26 days into No Nut November, and Alexa Bliss comes out in a little suit. Yeah, that was not fair. I have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
The Snooze Award goes to this entire show. That's from Stike. The Stop Talking Award goes to Baron Corbin.
No.
He has way too many lines now, Berto says.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about the Snooze Award. I thought tonight was a good Raw.
Okay, revisionist history.
Yeah.
There was a very large portion of it that was not good. There was some really good points, and Rob is it's the holidays. He's very glass half full guy this time of year.
He's an angry elf.
Come on.
But anyway, more importantly, I agree with you, Berto. Stop talking, Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah.
Just stop. Nobody wants to hear you.
No.
My next award,
I bet he's a douche in real life.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Lone wolf in the locker room because nobody wants to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like he's the kid in the cafeteria that sits by himself or goes outside to eat
Right.
in the hallway and smoke.
Oh, here comes Corbin. You wearing a trench coat? Oh.
Nobody will play with me. The Rob inspired this my second award here.
Oh.
My last one.
Yay.
It's the appropriate flashback award. Rarely do we see a worthy flashback. There were so many flashbacks tonight from either the last pay-per-view, which was 10 days ago,
Yeah, you fucking
or the
right.
last week.
Yeah.
This time, we saw the Nia Jax versus Ronda back in Money in the Bank. We might have forgotten that.
Yeah.
You inspired it. You made the comment. I gave the award.
All right. So you took my second award.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, because I thought of it. And
Well, I did give you credit at least.
oh, thank you. So I guess
Check
I'll
the
just,
tape. I didn't just steal it.
I'll make one up on the fly.
All right.
I'm gonna call this the you're the worst host of a show award. I'm gonna give it to Adam.
Oh.
For never clearly identifying what we are at the beginning of the show or any of the platforms that we are streaming or are available at.
Okay, I did identify us. I did not say any of that streaming
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, no. You're
I'll give
horrible.
you that.
You're horrible.
The filler award tonight for Berto goes to Ember and Alicia and Jinder versus Jose. It was a tie.
Wow.
Yeah. And Kevin
So
joining
we
us
don't
on
have to talk-
Texas.
we don't have to talk about them now. So that's
Yeah,
done.
there you go.
Yeah.
Get that out of the way. Any event, that's what we call a segue.
Extra big ass topics.
Segways on the stream. That is what we are.
Paul Blart style.
Away with me.
We got 5 topics. Rob for sure is gonna F one of them up.
What the fuck?
Number 1, general manager elect. Number 2, general manager in waiting. Number 3, the NXT minute with Rob. Number 4, I piss on your robe. And number 5, WWE's seen it. Number one, general manager elect. So we pretty much got bookends tonight of Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre beating the hell out of Elias in the beginning and beating the hell out of Finn in the end.
Creating this new heel faction. We had to come up with a name for it. The Lone Wolves? No, the Lone
the Lone Rangers.
The Lone
like,
Rangers,
like airheads.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense.
There's more than one of you. You can't be lone.
So the wolves bitches. The dogs are female.
Nobody wants you.
Nobody. Play with me. I don't have any friends.
Yeah. Bob Spank Bank. I don't know. Drew's in the group.
The hall monitors. I
The
don't
hall
know.
monitors.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is, you know what though, we're shitting on it, but in all honesty, I like it. I like it because we were talking about who's going to replace the Roman, right? Who's going to be the new top dog, and I think this faction is giving some shine to the heel Bobby Lashley and the heel Drew McIntyre, because in all honesty, watching Bobby in the last 6 months or however long he's been here now, whatever. Bobby has been impossible to watch, impossible to listen to, right?
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah.
And
And I mean, his sisters and Sami Zayn didn't help any of
no,
that.
it was brutal. It was brutal. But tonight, and you got to give some credit to Leo Rush. How'd it go?
My man.
Thank you. But Bobby's moveset as a heel is so much more dynamic. It is what we were calling for back when he was as a face. We're like, God, if he could just be brutal and vicious, it would give him. So he's getting his clout back, and Leo's giving him some swag that he can't do on his own because he's so corny. Only thing he has to do now is get rid of the fucking headband.
The only thing I can think of to explain all of this is Bobby came in and said, "Hey, I can pull off a face. I want people to be revered by me. I want to be the good guy." And they're like, "You can't do it." He's like, "No, put it in my contract. You're at least going to give me a shot." And they let him talk, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And then they've done this.
Now that clearly is not what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm speculating.
Yeah.
Leo Rush is a great freaking pairing, and Bobby Lashley does not need to say anything. He is a physical specimen. When he did his Braun impersonation at the beginning for that running, just barrel roll over a guy,
Yeah.
he just was a slow trot and took that last turn, and you just saw the speed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, that obstacle course, as stupid as it was, I'm like, this man's an athlete.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the sport is. This man is a true athlete.
Oh, he is, and it's more defined, more on display. It's more the first thing you see now because he's a heel. He's supposed to hurt people. He's a bad person. My thing is where we shit on this faction like, oh, this stupid little faction of of these fuckers, probably because of Baron more or less. But even Drew, he's a good heel. I think he's another bad face.
I think though, my take on Drew here is that these guys are crutches for Drew that he doesn't need.
No.
He can walk fine on two legs, and WWE keeps thinking he needs to be propped up to get over.
I think Drew elevates Corbin and Bobby to a higher notoriety, right? It gives them more legit as a heel, more legit as badasses because Drew's a badass. That's what he portrays. He does it well. And with every faction, a la The Rock, right, Nation, somebody ends up winning in the long run from the faction. Somebody rises above the rest and moves on, and that's going to be Drew. This is Drew's platform. Drew's platform.
I agree that there is for every nation and successful faction, there are plenty that never worked, like the Just Incredible one with X-Pac.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about X-Pac heat?
I'm not saying every fucking faction. I just think that this particular one is only designed to build up Bobby because of Drew and then propel Drew to that next level, which would be the title picture.
What I see is just a slightly different take. I see Drew McIntyre as trying to get away from the 3MB gimmick forever. I see Drew McIntyre as a singles champion.
You're the only one holding on to that. Okay.
I see him as a singles champion at the NXT level. Clearly can carry it. Clearly was on his own. I know he didn't last long with the title, but the guy could do it. And he quickly was vaulted as soon as they gave him the title up to the main roster. And I thought he's been dynamic. But the second you have him get away from Dolph, I'm done with you. And get away from Braun, I'm done with you. Now he's in a new faction with Bobby Lashley and Baron and add Leo Rush. It's like, when are you going to let this guy stand on his own? That's my knock on Drew, is the booking of he's always in a faction. I only brought up 3MB because it seems main roster, it's faction, not main roster NXT. He was a singles champion. Don't you find that odd?
I mean, I guess.
It's like they don't believe in him to stand on his own. And hell, he was a face when he was champion in NXT. You know,
Yeah.
Bobby with Leo is great, according to Kevin in Texas. Bang Bus points this out. We knew that he has drawn on eyebrows, but I didn't really consider
I don't fucking care.
Well, the headband keeps him from washing away if he is sensitive about it. That could be part of why he wears them. I'm just guessing.
Who said he has drawn on eyebrows?
He has alopecia, so
Oh, does he?
yeah, and sometimes you see him because they're drawn on, and sometimes they don't. And if he sweats, they'll all just smear and look nasty. So he wears the headband. Speculating here.
Why is he
keep
drawing
that
his
on.
eyebrows on? I mean,
I don't know.
it's
Some
fucking-
people are sensitive about it.
I guess.
I mean, you know, to each their own.
Yeah.
You know, I know people that are sensitive. You know, where my dad did a comb over for years before he accepted he was bald.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, Dad, you know, you're bald.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels took him years to
finally give in.
yeah, and then Hunter got hurt. But that's a different topic. The Baron's Bitches is Stikelether's name for this group. What do you think about that one?
The what?
Baron's Bitches.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I think that's simple. You're simple.
I just wonder
You smell of beef.
what's the end game here? Is this just a gauntlet to see who is going to be the next guy up?
Well, obviously, to me, everything we're watching right now, and somebody on here said a minute ago that, we're about to go, Berto said, Happy Holidays Award WWE for going on autopilot for the next 5 weeks. Because they usually do around the holidays and stuff.
Oh, that
But-
explains a lot of the booking.
I'm disagreeing with you.
In the middle of the show.
Oh, sure.
The bookends were not bad. The
Yeah.
middle of the show was terrible, man.
Well,
You had two promos. Braun's promo, I'm not coming this week in Birmingham.
Okay. My point here is, before I forget it, because you started talking again, is that they take these 5 weeks, and you just had some major losses, right? You had fucking Roman, obviously, big fucking loss. Braun is out now. Alexa's out. Now
Becky,
Alexa,
if
yeah,
you want to count that.
Becky. So on the men's side, you got to do some scrambling to find that next big thing.
And KO went out right before Roman even.
KO, thank you. So right now, these next 5 weeks, this is WWE's opportunity to go, let's just start flashing motherfuckers around and see who fucking sticks.
Which is why I'm against the whole putting Drew in a faction here. I think all these guys, same guys, should all be standing out on their own with little mini feuds going in here. Pop test builds and stuff like that. You have got to find some talent going into Mania. And if you're trying to get the pop tests and you're not sure, now is the time to do it. I know you're supposed to normally be on autopilot, but guess what, boys? The ship's sinking.
Yeah.
We got lots of guys on IR. All hands on deck. Sorry. Guess what? We'll make it up to you. In February, we're going to buy you cruises or something like that. To some of the creative staff, whatever they've got to do to sweeten the deal.
Yeah.
Get us through now. That's all you got to do.
Am I the only one that feels like Hunter is just sitting in the back, kind of evil villain, like rubbing his hands together, like, sink, motherfucker, sink. That way, the quicker I can get up and start my creation of the main roster.
If you were in that situation, Rob, wouldn't you want the bottom to be, let's say, 100? If it was at one time $1 million, you know, you would rather try to build from 100 than from 10, or rather build from 1,000.
I literally have no idea what you're talking about with the numbers.
The bottom out is what I'm saying. You don't want to go all the way to zero. You're not going, I hope Vince runs it completely into the ground so I can take control.
No, just close.
You want him to. He wants to take control while there's still some viable product left.
Just close enough that it's obvious to Vince. Vince is one of those people that I feel this way about it. I've felt this way about it for 40 years, and no matter what you tell me, I'm always going to feel that way about it, no matter what topic it is. He's set in his ways. He's an older guy. We all know Vince's. We all have them in our families. We all have them in our lives. So,
Since you bring that up,
but hold on.
Go ahead.
But Vince, it has to get to the point where it's bad enough that Vince can honestly look at it and go, "Fuck, you're right. I'm fucking this up."
Were you around during the Matt Hardy Edge Lita scandal, the real life one?
In and out.
Okay, that story lent a ton of credence to it because there was a lot of real life events. I think what you just said, if they don't play it behind the scenes and there's like a hostile takeover, they like do it out there as a kayfabe thing.
Yeah.
Have Vince go down swinging.
Yeah.
Send him off into Grandpaville, whatever. If you want to bring him back as a gimmick every now and again, but really say the boss is not the boss anymore. For real, for true. This has been teased in the kayfabe, fourth walls for a while. We're coming out and we're saying this right now.
Yeah.
Come out and make a production about it.
Yeah.
This is it. Vince McMahon, I know he's said goodbye many times, audience, and you guys have done the thank you, Vince. We're not Mark Henrying you here. Vince is going away. This is it. This Mania will be his last one, and he's going to host it. Something like that.
I bet you ratings for that entire season would pick up.
There you go.
Because people who stop watching would go, okay,
New
let's
regime.
see how Vince goes out.
New
and
management.
Then we can watch him come in. Right.
New management.
Yeah.
There's plenty of a Family Guy used to poke fun at this. Let's not go to that Denny's. Let's go to the good Denny's.
Yeah.
The reason that exists is because one of them sucks.
Right.
And so you try to pick the other one or whatever there. So you go see under new management and you're like, oh, I'll give the sucky one a chance again.
Right.
That might be the sway.
We'll see.
One thing we didn't talk about before we move on, I know this is a long topic. Some of them aren't. The match is still on, according to Baron, with Braun. There is some speculation that he could come back.
Somebody on the board is saying it's just bone spurs that he's having removed.
Yeah.
I'm not. I know it was enough to keep Trump out of the fucking draft. Beyond that, I don't know how serious.
I think
the bone
it's like
spur
a
is.
scope.
I mean, I know a lot of people in the Marine Corps will use it as an excuse to not do things.
Yeah, I think they could brace his arm and get by it.
Okay.
Maybe just not do a bunch of lifts. I don't know.
Yeah.
No Brock, GM Baron, Squirrel. I don't know. I think they're just dangling the carrot to get us to look away. I do agree with Elias, though. Despite the child labor laws, I do think Leo Rush would be a better GM. That's my final point on that one.
2.
Number 2, general manager in waiting. We talked about this while you were absent, Rob, that there was rumors going around that Alexa Bliss, when Baron inevitably lost to Braun before the injury, Alexa would be the new GM.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because her injury status is unknown. Instead, she becomes assistant, but she's in charge of the women's division. I'm intrigued by this angle.
I do too. I love it. Now, obviously I didn't watch anything last week. I didn't watch series. I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch. I was
Naya. There, caught you up.
Right.
I'm not even kidding.
So right. So for me on this, the whole Alexa thing as being the co-general manager for the women or assistant general manager to the women, whatever, I think is great. Because if you can't have her in a ring, which you really do want her in a ring, but if you can't have her in a ring, you got to have her on the show. You have to have some people on the show. You can't let them take breaks when they're hurt. If their mouth is working, they should be working. And she's one of those where not only is she just fun to look at, let's be real. I love my woman, but she is fun to fucking look at. And she's incredibly talented when it comes to the promos.
Gift of gab.
She has it, man. You got to have her. This is a great role because my only concern here is that now you have 2 GMs playing the bully role, right?
Oh, with her and Stephanie.
No, I mean with like Baron and her.
Oh,
they're both playing the haha. If you don't listen to me, I'll get your ass. I'll beat you down. They're both heel GMs. Interesting, but is it an overkill?
I think the heel Alexa is a transition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a transition. I hope as she fades out because she has issues with Bailey and Banks, and they just don't want those to go away. Also, if she gets cleared, they want to have somewhere to go.
Sure.
So for now, it's maybe just a little, hey, we don't know what the hell's going to go on. We're just stalling again with the women's division. But it puts it in a new perspective because she can be the catalyst to do all sorts of new things. And sink or swim, we can blame it on her. If it doesn't work, no big deal.
I mean, her first kind of roll with it tonight did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I'm a little disappointed. They were doing the open forum with Bailey and Sasha, and that, I mean, they ended abruptly in an ambush, right? Right. But
Very abruptly, very weird. Like someone just was like,
Well, my thing is with somebody who can talk the way that Alexa can, and you're having an open forum segment, I was interested. I wanted to hear what was going to come out of people's mouths, not the fans.
You had the pen ready.
I was ready for some fucking good ones, and then they just dropped it. I'm like, if you're going to make her GM, then utilize the skill that she has that made you want to put her there in the first place. Let her fucking talk.
Now, when you say that, is it weird that they mentioned earlier into the night the "This Is Your Life" segment that Bliss did with Bailey before?
I love they did that.
And now this was almost as big a turd in terms of like, okay, I think this is going to be something good, and it turned out to be.
Yeah,
not, I mean,
but this is
expectations
your life.
Versus reality.
This Is Your Life aged me. It took so long to get through. This one was, at least it was quick.
Okay,
right?
Band-Aid.
Right.
They pulled the Band-Aid off.
Right.
I think that this could possibly lead to her creating tag titles. I think all the things that we were rumored. I think it would be great if she did come up once Baron is out of the picture and took over the main roster guys and was like, look, you're going to do this. Yeah, the way she talks to somebody like Braun, looking up as like, I'm your GM, little Mighty Mouse, do what I say. Like, yeah. I think that would be a great character for her. And Paige is nice to the fans. But Alexa being mean is different.
But wouldn't that be a little weird having two ex-diva women champions fucking GMing both the shows? I mean,
one with a neck issue, one with a concussion issue.
Right.
Not when you have so many. Give credit where credit's due. I thought Nia did the best she could with her little character tonight and her script that she was given.
No, I think what they're doing with Nia is great.
Right, I do too. She's not quite there. She felt a little too Bella fake.
Yeah, too kind of Betty Boopish. Like, I'm sorry, I did that. Oh,
yeah. I think it was very close. I'm being nitpicky. I think Nia's promo work was really good tonight.
Yeah.
There were a couple times she felt Nikki Bella-like.
Yeah.
And I don't think she needs to be that. I think she needs to do with this. And I'm glad that kayfabe is why they're playing into this. Everybody knows that the errant punch from Nia, the face breaker, is what led to no Becky Lynch.
Right.
So she's got to come out and do it.
Yeah.
My problem is why is Charlotte and Becky being dragged into the feud of Nia and Ronda so much? That's the one part about this all that I don't get. Our Survivor Series is where it's brand versus brand, right, Rob?
Right.
So we got a freaking year to sit on this. Or is this all going to play out in the Rumble?
I'm going to be honest. So this segment we had with Nia and what's your fucking face? Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
I like Nia's direction, but I don't even know what that entire fucking segment was about. Ronda's just, what is she even talking about?
I want to fight now. Her new thing is she wants to fight every week.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm still not, can we just pause for a minute? I'm still not over the fact that she's the fucking champion, that she was brought in with nothing and just propelled the way that she and everyone else said that she wouldn't be. She absolutely did, and everybody like, oh, what happened? Okay. Fucking we're all just like, whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to get that
Kevin's
off my
right
chest.
There with you. He says, I like the Nia segment until Ronda came out.
Ronda is just so not it for me. And I'm talking as a wrestling, as a talent. She's just not it for me. I hate it. I really do hate it. Her being there.
Ronda's getting booed because, like you guys said, they Romaned her.
Yeah.
Oh, Romaned her is becoming a word or a term. I like the Nia segment until Nia came out, Berto says. Oh, Berto.
That's mean, Berto.
But Berto's funny.
What the fuck is Tamina doing?
Yeah. And she even got shit on. I thought that would at least mean she was going to make an attack. What did they call her? The mute monolith?
Yeah.
Is what she was referring to.
Monolithic mute? Yeah.
Which are big friggin' words for Ronda, by the way.
I was really surprised when she said monolithic. I was like, what? Does she know what the fuck she's talking about right now?
Yeah, mute's got one syllable. I'm not surprised she came up with that one.
Oh, that's mean.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I mean, monolithic in general is not something that comes up in just conversation.
I'm with Kevin from Texas, man. I'm all in for a Tamina shirt.
Still waiting.
Yeah, man.
It felt weird that she is just out there. You're smaller, so you're not a bodyguard unless it's like Virgil style. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. So
it's the Vince McMahon. Okay, so I got my whiteboard and all my people here, and we're gonna put let's put here Apollo, and then we'll put next to him what's the other black guys?
Oh, Apollo wasn't there tonight.
Oh yeah, Apollo wasn't there, but yeah, it's put all Samoans over here. We got 2 Samoan women, put them together. Fucking
cage match. Winner gets the contract. No, it feels like I always have this theory on Lost and Walking Dead that anytime you have 2 people in the same role, one of them is going to die. Now, of course, those are fictional shows.
Yes.
But here, one of their careers is going to die.
Tamina or Nia. Yeah, it does feel like the start to the Hunger Games, doesn't it, with those 2? Yeah.
You guys are both from District 13. We only need one of you.
2 big women enter. 1 bigger woman leaves.
No, but seriously, like we got you 2 over here. You're the same. Fight it out. We only need one.
Yeah.
I don't care which.
So it's going to be Lars and Braun and Nia versus Tamina.
Yeah, they're like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Fight amongst yourselves. Let me know who wins.
Will Sasso.
What's the Joker do? He's got those 3 guys, and he goes, a spot just opened up in my employ, and he tosses the stick in the middle.
Yes.
And he goes, but I can only have room for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But the career version.
Yes.
3.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to get some water. I got to be back for this.
Damn, I don't have a cocktail. Would you just bring me the liquor?
We had a vision for change. You made it a revolution. We told you we are the future until you told us the future is now.
Oh, man, is it?
Marked Out Wrestling Podcast presents to you the NXT Minute with Roadie Rob.
Okay, so first off, pull music down real quick. I'm going to throw my answer a question here on the board before we jump into this. Where is it at? Kevin says, you guys aren't watching the premiere of Edge and Christian, Kevin from YouTube live chat board. We are, but we're not going to watch it right now.
Yeah, Kevin, before you joined the show, we praised season 1 a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even a fan of Edge and Christian as the wrestlers. I loved their 5-second poses and shitting on the fans. But the podcast of awesomeness, or not the podcast.
No, the show.
The show.
Whatever.
The podcast is the show.
The podcast is not that good.
The show, the antics, everything they do.
It's so good.
I laughed lots of like true LOL moments.
They won me over when they did the whole shit on podcasts.
Yes.
And we were like, they're like talking about us. They're shitting all over us. I love it.
And the way they would get around saying TNA and other things.
Yeah, it's good.
And then having Bailey beat the shit out of Tommy Dreamer with a kendo stick. That was cool.
Yeah, I disagree with you on the podcast, Kevin. Anywho, NXT. So I don't have the matches in front of me. I know we had Nikki Cross versus Gargano, or what's her fucking name? Candice LeRae. That happened. I can't remember who won. Look, here's the thing. I'm just going to sum up NXT like this. NXT does an absolutely phenomenal job of taking the go-home show before TakeOver or War Games and making it a true go-home show, a good promo blast of what's coming for the pay-per-view. And then they do a fantastic job of the post-TakeOver show. Because you know that the way that they cover the matches, it's not just stupid little replays. They actually tell you a story of what happened in the whole match in a segment. Mm-hmm. And then they add here's another little nugget to it that you didn't know happened backstage. It adds a little more fuel to it. Maybe it starts up a new feud. They're so good about recapping their takeovers. And we got a couple good, cool matches in it. You know, Lars and what's the big dude? I'm sorry, guys. My brain is on flake out right now after this past week. Keith Ellis. Is that it, right?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. Keith Lee.
The black dream, Black American Dream.
So you got him and Lars, man, tying it up, and I'm before Lars actually bumps up, right? This is gonna be great. I'm just saying that NXT is really, really great at this, and I'm all gushing over them right now, and I don't have anything specific to say about any of the matches that happened on Wednesday.
I just you brought up Mr. Lee there, and I really think he should go with an African American Dream gimmick. He talks, looks, and moves like a Dusty in his prime.
I don't know if that'll work. The African American Dream.
But do you get it?
The African American. Oh, I see how it works now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of corny. I mean, it's good, but it's kind of.
American Dream, but he goes African American.
No.
I don't know. I think it's fucking gold gimmick, and it's Keith Lee, Keith Ellis. Bangba says, is that what he went up by on the Indies?
No, I don't remember. Let me just say this, because I didn't get to recap TakeOver with you guys either, and I did watch TakeOver.
Oh,
I am so fucking scared of Velveteen Dream getting called
What
up.
did you say, Triple H? You told me off air. What did Triple H say about him or something?
His tweet was something like, it's scary how good stop watching the fucking movie. Stop.
It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I don't give a shit. Stop.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm going to turn the TV off.
You should.
I am going to. He said it's scary how good he is now. It's even scary to think how good he's going to be later.
He's 23.
He's so good.
He's 23. I sit at the edge of my seat during an NXT match, not to backtrack for TakeOver, War Games, whatever. I sit on the edge of my seat. I bought into every false finish.
Yeah.
I haven't bought into a false finish on Raw. Like you kind of said, I could see Gable and Rude winning tonight, but I mean that's a later topic. But you know, honestly, we weren't surprised by the outcome.
No.
It's just NXT knows how to grab you. Aleister Black, even in Gargano.
Yeah, Vince is going to destroy Velveteen. I just know it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Get Vince out now. The stupidest thing, by the way, Velveteen could have ever done was call me up Vince in those pants. I get what he was doing.
Yeah.
Please don't ruin him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've already seen 3 different versions of Sin Cara.
Yeah, I don't think Velveteen's getting called up now. So when I say I'm worried about him getting called up, I am. I'm worried about him getting called up ever as long as Vince is there. It's just he's such the character that Vince would destroy, right?
Bang Bus, I think, is filling in a little bit for Captain Obvious tonight because he says the rumor call-ups right now are Lars and EC3.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
well,
not,
Lars, they keep showing
it's
promos.
Not fucking rumored.
Which show is the only thing up for grabs there. And EC3, they teased EC3's promo package of what he's going to do this coming week on NXT on the main roster show tonight. I think that's a telling factor of their belief in him.
Yeah.
They did the whole top 1% promo package.
Yeah.
I like EC3, and the guy can talk. I think that's the big difference.
I don't think he's that great in the ring, but
he's not that.
But he's got the look.
He's like Dean. He's got the character.
Dean who? Ambrose.
Yeah,
that's an opinion.
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
That's your yeah. Hello, senor. I'm going to do a hurricanrana and then a suicide dive.
Dude, gravity kills any hope he has of doing the tope suicito.
Oh my God, what's that?
You got anything else on this?
No.
All right, good.
4.
I piss on your robe. I meant to say this like Steve, I piss in your face.
I piss in your face.
Yeah.
I piss on your robe, sir.
I piss on your robe. What is this about?
I love this. No, I love this. Look, everyone knows that the Maverick pissing his pants thing was such a fuck up. Like,
so bad.
It was so bad. You could see him reaching for the bottle or whatever he had to squeeze.
Even what they had to work with on the video, they couldn't edit it right to make it look any better.
Right, exactly. I noticed
how bad it was.
I noticed that too. But for me, this whole first his explanation in the promo of why he pissed himself, I thought was great because I'm sitting there listening to it as another man, and I'm like, yeah, if a 7-foot fucking 8-foot dude grabbed me by my neck and held me up, and I was fucking helpless, yeah, maybe I'd piss myself. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Not saying, I ain't doing that. I'm just saying if I was another guy, I would. But then to take that and turn that into destroying Bobby Roode's robe by using piss, deflecting from the fucked up pee spot.
Well, and they did all
great.
the piss jokes last week when you missed that backstage.
They're doing an NXT thing. They're making a big story out of a little thing. Piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A simple thing. Not just little.
Right, simple.
It's simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah, they're pissing on each other. It's a golden shower feud.
Berto says, please skip this, but he also wants to point out on the last topic. Remember when everyone wanted an NXT guy to go up after Mania? Now we all fear any call-ups.
Yeah.
See,
so true.
every former champ.
Hello,
I'm starting
Bobby
to feel
Roode.
bad. Like, I wasn't watching NXT originally, like when Bo Dallas was the champ and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but now I'm starting to feel bad. Like, I get it. Razor doubles suplex Bobby Roode while it happened too. Yeah, so bad. That whole thing was bad. You know what? This is the time when we just want to, might as well, this topic sucked. Let's do a random moment of trivia. Rob, did you know Star Wars A New Hope is technically a remake?
I did not know that. And this random trivia fact is brought to you by collarandelbowbrand.com. Collar and Elbow products with your marked out code, marked out, all caps, one word, 10% off your entire order. Go there now for the holidays. They got ugly Christmas sweaters. They got beanies. They got shirts sometimes. They got, they got other stuff marked out, all one word, capitalized, 10% off your whole order.
Even clearance items.
Even clearance items.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, and you know what happens when you do that? You save money, and we make a little money.
You support a great podcast like us.
Right. We're wonderful, and we're trying to get better.
Amazing talent.
2019 is going to be our breakout year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it.
As we're approaching our 3rd anniversary.
Speaking of which, just in case anyone was curious, since you said you didn't know that, 56, Hidden Fortress, Star Wars. It's a samurai movie there instead of Jedi, but a couple twists enough. But even Lucas admits that that's where he got his
I
thing
knew
from.
that. I knew that.
Okay, so you did know that.
I did know that, yeah.
Damn it. Number 5, WWE Seen It. You ever played one of those Seen It games, Rob?
No, but I know them. Go ahead.
Okay, when you play them, I forgot to do this.
5,
When you play them too much, you end up seeing the same scenes over and over again on your DVD. You know, the questions.
Right.
You've just seen it. That was what tonight. Seth Rollins open challenge. Dolph Ziggler answered it. Dolph Ziggler's fighting Seth Rollins. I feel like they've been fighting for 6 months, and it's been 6 months too long.
But I mean,
Over the IC belt.
is it a long arc story with those two, or is it random? Is it random happenstance?
I thought the whole point of the open challenge was give Dolph a little push. He takes the belt, and Seth goes to the main event.
Not yet.
No, this was when he lost it back in SummerSlam. Why is he back on? Why is the belt back on him? Why is he now fighting with Dean Ambrose on it? We have an absent Universal Champion. You said why is Bobby Roode in the goddamn tag division? Here is why. Because there is no freaking mid card on Raw. Because the mid card is where main eventers have to go to get a championship. Because the Universal title is once again back on Brock. I didn't want Braun to be champ. If you check the tape, was just I gave up and was like, okay, fine. Roman's got the belt.
Yeah.
At least it's on TV.
Yep.
We kind of as a marked out group, at least the three of us, Yumi and Brian, kind of conceded. All right, at least Brock no longer has it like we wanted.
At least we get to see storylines with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know cancer wasn't predictable there. They should have done what they did a long time ago in the triple threat of Triple H, Rock, and Stone Cold. They were supposed to have that triple threat, and then Stone Cold had to bow out, and they replaced him with the Big Show, and the Big Show out of nowhere won the title over Triple H and The Rock that night. He took it. They should have thrown a third party in there and had that person win the title.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah. Maybe.
Instead, they gave us a match nobody cared about at the time.
Yep.
No swerve.
Kevin asks, what is Lars going to do? I was just wanting for him to put on the we're talking about something there. What is Lars going to do? I have no idea.
I fear, since Bangbush just brought up Mojo, I fear Lars could end up in Mojo Land if he goes to Raw. SmackDown, he's got a chance. But again,
He has to go to SmackDown.
But again, look at the way they've booked their monster. Who would you say is the monster over on SmackDown right now?
SmackDown?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I mean, it was Corbin. I mean, maybe kind of.
It's got to be Joe. I'll stop you.
Joe is the monster?
It's got to be. I mean, he's booked to lose, not quite like Nutshot style, but Joe's the biggest guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Marked Out BT says, I bet it rhymes with 0. How many times did you work out for weight loss challenge? The guy who didn't even show up to the thing after gaining weight.
I went to the gym one time when I was in Oklahoma for the break.
That's more than me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
But I ate so much that, I had trouble moving around. It was fucking bad.
Yeah, Bangbush says, Smojo went from a pit bull to a little puppy dog. Hey, Marked Out BT, are you going to do the mud report, dirt sheet, whatever it is here?
Yeah. Nope. I don't
No,
have anything.
he's not here?
No.
He's not here?
No.
He just wants to talk shit online,
That's what it is.
not actually contribute?
Nope.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, don't forget to like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below the video afterwards and all the thumbs up. Hey, thumb up the fucking video, and the person who thumbed it down, I love you, and subscribe.
Yeah, here's the thing, okay? Most people have a third party. Most big YouTube channels have a third party who looks at all that shit. There's no third party here. We look at all that shit. You want us to see stuff? Put it in the comments. Give us thumbs up. Give us thumbs down. Let us know anything. Brian, you let us down. Thanks for that. What
Good segue.
I fucked the whole segue up there.
Yeah,
the point being is, like Brian, bless his heart. This is kind of the bless your heart moment here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Yankee, but one of the first things I learned when I came to the South.
And I'm a Southerner.
One of the first things I learned when I came to the South was the old saying is true to a certain extent. If you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. Making the list this week, the Lucha House Party.
Bless your heart.
Revival.
Bless your heart.
Jinder Mahal.
Bless your heart.
Ember Moon.
Bless your little heart.
No Way Jose.
Oh, bless your heart.
And he didn't compete, but 236 losses in a row, Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, bless your little heart.
So, Rob, without Mud Report and Brian, Dirt Sheet and Brian, I don't have anything else on my production sheet.
Killing me, Small.
No, I know. It's kind of a simple night. We attack the points of the show.
The good ones.
Look, here's
the ones worth talking about.
Right, and again, I'm going to disagree with Berto, who was like, or was it Cycler? There's somebody who's like, "You suck tonight." I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Yeah, Stike he was the one who said snooze fest and actually left early.
I really did enjoy this tonight's Raw.
But it was bookended. The middle was,
No.
I got to call you out, my friend. We
Look, the Lucha
spent way too much time on Jinder Mahal watching that match, watching that whole exchange.
Hey, look, Dean getting his shots, I thought was hilarious. I laughed. I laughed out loud and inside. I laughed during the Dean Ambrose getting a shot segment. I thought it was entertaining.
But
it was shades of a bygone era, right? And the Lucha House Party, as I'm watching it with the Revival, I'm like, actually, it was like the trapeze act in a circus. And the difference is they were using the Revival as the trampolines. But that's all it was. We have to remember.
Hoppa.
Right. We have to remember in perspective. We have to have perspective here. As much as we are fans and we crave for these big storylines, to come to these big feuds, to have these wonderful matches, we have to remember that this is a variety show. It is a production and a television show and a brand of entertainment first and foremost. Tonight's match with the Lucha House Party was the trapeze segment of the variety show. They just wanted to highlight these three guys working in concert like you would if you were watching the All-Star mascots do the trampoline jump slam dunk contest. It was just a little moment for the crowd to, wow. We can't take everything that happens on the show seriously. Not every segment of the show can be an intense storyline that's been, just worked at different angles for weeks and weeks and weeks. Sometimes they have to give us just the little shit segments or goofy segments because that's what a variety show is.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do a good segue.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
At the end of what you just said is an inconsistent booking. If the Revival, after the promo they cut when they were walking down to the ring, had won tonight, you could set up a rubber match and you could continue the feud.
Yeah.
Instead, they're down 2-zip. We've got a weird, stupid gimmick rule where it's 3-0. My point being is WWE has forgotten the real reason marks love the Attitude Era. It's because you could book feuds where both guys came out looking good, looking better, moving up their own status within the company. Here, you have very, very clear winners and losers. And some of the way that these losers are losing damages them on almost a permanent basis. The way Ascension was damaged. The way Breezango was damaged. The way now I feel Revival is getting damaged. Losing, I would rather see, I know that faces don't do hook and crooks, but I would rather see a playful hook and crook that causes the Revival to lose if they're going to lose 2 in a row than, hey, it's time for all 3 to do their finisher moves.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the tags, and we'll pin at the end.
I agree with you that Revival, it shouldn't have been Revival. They could have found somebody else.
Ascension?
But I take it back now. Revival, I think they will recover one day. I really do. But I don't think they have a long – Brainbusters didn't last long, and that's the best comparison we had with the two.
AOP's only doing well because of Drake, I think.
Well, yes, Drake is very fucking needed for those two. They should never got rid of Paul.
But they did.
But they did. I think they thought they could handle it, but they were clearly fucking wrong on that one. But Revival will recover for this, but I think without Revival, I don't think the segment is as watchable as it was with the Lucha House Party. Because Revival can talk up the game. You know that they can handle that, and they can take the bumps, and they can be part of the gimmick. I mean, they don't care. They're more than happy to put these guys over. That's what wrestlers do. I'm just so.
Hey, Bang Bus has the answer here.
This is Roderick Strong, and I approve this message.
He says the Revival can recover on All Elite Wrestling. And it was said earlier on the board, Vince needs to go away before All In gets a foothold. If
The All Elite?
All Elite, before they get a foothold. Because
so is this Jericho's thing, or is this Cody's thing? Or I'm out of the loop on this one.
I believe it is Cody is like what Dusty was to the NWA days is what he'll be there. So
Booker, general manager type,
but also a wrestler.
Yeah.
Also one of the good attractions of the card. Maybe even like Jarrett was in the early TNA days. But Jericho and others are the ones funding it.
Okay.
So they're the ones providing the capital or whatever. But Nick Jackson and his the Bucks are part of that creative control flow there.
But is this going to be just another little kind of side promotion, or are they trying to go? Are they going to have people exclusive to their brand?
That's what's being hotly contested, with them being now free agents.
Right.
What they're going to do, because All In, they brought talent in for one-offs. They're now trying to poach talent. So this is also it's a weird scenario. We should let Brian break it down more tomorrow.
Berto, yeah, that'd be nice. Berto, that's not true. He said only way Cody can get over is to be the booker of his own show. That's not true. He was over his fucking Ring of Honor.
And I think Cody was over when Legacy was on its high note. I think Cody was over when he was the IC champ as the heel in the face mask and stuff. Cody, as soon as he went to Stardust, that was the end. And that's what I feel certain people don't recover from. 3MB, they all had to leave to come back separately to get any success. Santino Marella, Berto wants to point out, I want to bring him up. The Milan Miracle, on his debut, he comes out of the crowd and he wins, I think it was the U.S. title. It might have been the IC title.
IC.
It was IC title.
Yeah.
Okay, he wins it in his debut. Vladimir Kozlov, undefeated for over a year Russian. Now, he was stiff as fuck and had all these other issues.
Yeah.
But both their careers never recovered because they paired them together, and not in a Team Hell No kind of way. They paired them together in a, hey, this is going to be funny. The Russian guy can't speak, and the other guy butchers the English language. Oh, this will be great.
Yeah.
It would be like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Nikolai Volkov. It was horrible.
Yeah. That was bad.
And
that was so bad.
Killed both. They couldn't recover. Boogeyman never had a chance because of the gimmick. Can't recover. Shockmaster, thankfully he was wearing a mask. He recovered. I don't know if you remember War Machine from the original War Games #2. that replaced J.J. Dillon.
Who?
Or he was actually Hall of Famer.
Who?
You know who? You know who? Your boy.
Who?
Big Boss Man.
Oh, yes, my boy.
Yeah, that was him under in
Been
Black
doing
Layer.
hard time.
Yeah, he looked
Cobb
like
County,
the Gimp
Georgia.
from Pulp Fiction in that War Games.
I can never drive. I drive through Cobb County every once in a while. I'm like singing the Boss Man.
Cobb
theme.
County.
Cobb County, Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. When he joined Bullet Club, he was hated by fans. Everybody's hated by fans.
Yeah. Fucking Marks.
Yeah, and I had to get educated by Brian today. The fine line difference between the Bullet Club and the Elite. I still feel like it's like NWO and Wolfpack. I don't know if I'll ever actually understand it.
Yeah.
Like who's members of one but not the other, and vice versa.
It's a confusing dichotomy.
Right. My final thought is tune in tomorrow night. SmackDown has been on a downward spiral as of late. I'm really hoping that they right the ship. I think Crown Jewel and the backing out and all that changed a lot of the bookings, changed a lot of everything that made it weird. And I hope they can right their ship and go back the way they wanted. I'm not really digging on Daniel Bryan heel because I'm still waiting for the ball to drop, Rob, of Miz going face. And I don't want that.
Okay, that sounds disgusting. First
Correct.
off,
Thank you.
To answer, I guess I'll do my final thought. It will be Kevin's question because I didn't get to talk about War Games. Did you guys like the War Games match? I didn't hear you guys talk about it after the fact, so I don't know if I'm going to be repetitive here. But the War Games match, I thought it was overdone to an extent. I don't know if you needed as much as was put into it. I mean, to me, it almost felt like they tried to get every spot that's ever going to be thought of, and let's do it in this match. Let's get every prop that we could possibly think of using and use it. I mean, there was good spots. Don't get me wrong. The match itself was great. I liked I didn't really care for the locking Pete Dunne in the shark cage because it didn't make any sense with the rules. Right? They can't win the match until he's out of it anyway.
That was one of my big things.
Yeah.
And my other big thing about it is they knew for 3 minutes there were 2 locks on there and they only had the key to 1.
Right.
They didn't even bother to try until the clock got to 0.
Yeah. So right, exactly. So
what fucking logic is that?
So as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't a disappointment. It had great spots. And had obviously very talented people, and maybe the last time the war machine is ever relevant because once Vince gets them, they're done. It was good. I mean, it was fine. It was overdone. You didn't need all the chairs. You didn't need all the weapons. You did all the weapons last time. You didn't need all the weapons again.
Yeah.
You have 2 rings surrounded by cages. There is so much shit you can do with just that by itself. You don't need it.
And one of so this is a quick take of I'll be repetitive of what me and Brian said. I argued with Brian about that. I said you don't need the weapons. It's a huge. It created too many spots that didn't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
I mentioned the same thing. Why is he locked in? That didn't make sense. And the other big thing, one of the most memorable moments since you bring up the weapons, if you think about it, one of the most memorable spots is when all 4 guys were standing in between the ropes of the 2 rings.
Great spot.
Right?
Yeah.
Not a damn weapon there.
No. Didn't need it.
I don't remember any of the chair shots. I remember there was a lot.
That's
excessive.
That's,
30 of them, probably, right?
That's using your environment to create the best possible moment. And they did right at that moment.
Oh, my God. And the way they were there. And think about no weapons. Hanson, when he came in and even the odds and just kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
Making the save. They were just playing the numbers game till he came in, and he came in on fire.
Yeah.
Even that little weird cartwheel, I was just like, oh, go get you some, big man. They made both of the War Raiders look good. They showcased them.
Yeah.
And then when Pete Dunne put in all the weapons, I'm like, and my one big criticism is that one ref spent most of the time cleaning up the tables.
Yeah. And another thing about that is you've built Pete Dunne up, the bruiserweight, to be this badass, this bruiserweight. I mean, all pun intended. And the guy that he doesn't need chairs and tables and
he breaks fingers just with his own hands.
He's a fucking brute by himself. His hands are weapons. His mind is a dangerous, doomsday device. He's Why is he the one bringing all the shit in?
Yeah, Kevin says Roddy was great in War Games. I saw Roddy and Austin Aries go at it for a while on a couple of Ring of Honor shows that I got to, catch town to town when I was able to catch a couple in a row.
Yeah.
And that's when World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton and Charlie Haas were down there.
Yeah.
It was a great show. But, yeah, Roddy inside the ropes, Roddy is just one of the best.
This is Roderick Strong, and I approve this message.
It's
good.
on the mic. He sounds like this.
This is Roderick Strong, and I approve this message.
That's the setback.
A programming note real quick.
Well, real quick though, the final thought on that.
Yeah.
The Pete Dunne was the other thing. Pete Dunne and Ricochet both getting the pin there. Clearly not done with the attempted winning both belts at the same time.
Right.
Feud champion versus champion. I'm thinking Rumble weekend. You have that. That's going to be one of your matches.
Then Pete Dunne would have to win it, and that way he could lose it to somebody who's in NXT UK, and then he could focus all of his attentions on NXT America as the North American champion, and then eventually get bumped to the main roster. So they're going to remove him from the UK scene and bring him to the WWE America scene.
You think the main roster is ready? I'm like with whoever said it earlier. I'm sorry. I don't believe anybody should get moved up anymore.
No, I don't either. And honestly,
and the product is not all bad. I just don't trust that they don't ruin these people in the middle.
Yeah.
I kind of liked No Way Jose before he moved up the main roster.
It was fun.
Now he's stupid.
Yeah.
He doesn't even come out in the same outfit anymore. They make him change every time.
You know what I don't like, though? I don't like that they're equating the UK title with the North American title.
Making them see him on the same level, like
right.
the U.S. and Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same? Think about that.
Right. I think they're the same. They're the mid-level belt. So isn't NXT UK and the NXT Championship, shouldn't those be on the same level and the North American be at that mid-card level?
They haven't added a mid-card belt yet to the UK. They just added women's, Rob.
What would they call that? The Welch title?
Mustache Mountain?
The Mustache Mountain. Shut up. Programming note. If you were wondering, Podcast Land, Podcast Land on iTunes or Podbean or wherever the hell else you may listen. And I think this is the only
Roadie.
I was gone for the last week, so obviously none of the administrative work of the podcast was completed.
I'm talent.
Yeah. So if you're wondering, where have the episodes been? They were not uploaded because Adam doesn't bother to learn how to do that.
I'm the talent.
So tomorrow I will be uploading all 3 of the shows from last week: Survivor Series, Rawsome, and
Check the tape.
SmackDown, and then I will be uploading this one finally after that. So you'll have 4 new episodes on the podcast tomorrow.
4.
I mean, new to people on the podcast, not to people from YouTube. So I don't know why I'm fucking telling y'all, but
Daniel Price just got here, so he's got to at least listen to this one.
DP.
He said our final thought for him, the cat's thinking, which one do I drop kick first?
Yeah.
Now he's on my side. And Kevin from Texas was asking Rob his final thought. $115 for him and his wife to go see Raw.
Combined or
total?
Each?
Total.
So 2 tickets.
Basically, like
115.
Yeah.
For
basically
Raw.
just under $60 a ticket.
What city?
Somewhere in Texas.
That makes a difference. Because Texas usually, sorry, Kevin, Texas crowds, in my opinion. Houston? I don't know if Houston's, is that a shitty crowd?
It's funny what you said here, but basically the board is talking about that. They said your money, but this is bad timing for WWE product. They go to Texas often, so I would wait, is what Berto says. You don't want to go now. That's Berto's couch, sofa.
I mean, either you're going to wait for a SmackDown, or you're going to wait for a SmackDown, or you're going to get a house show, or it's going to be 2 years till they come back.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I 115, I'd do it if I had nothing to do.
You don't have anything to do anymore.
Oh, that's true.
I gave you a production list of 5 things. I wonder if any of them are going to get done next week.
This is fucking expensive here, Charlotte. It's like $80, $90 a ticket.
I don't know. The Spectrum itself is ridiculous. I hate the new corporate branding of stadiums. I know it's as old as time itself. Hell, I grew up with the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, which is Carrier air conditioning.
Yeah.
But the rebranding, Spectrum used to be Time Warner. What was it before that? Bobcat Arena at some time? It's been all 3 names.
Well,
right?
back when we had the Charlotte Hornets here, it was called the Hive.
But that was a different building.
a different time.
I'm
Yeah.
talking just the building that's downtown has gone through 3 name changes.
People in Ireland don't know this. Okay.
No, but
I know your point.
I'm saying, how can you? This goes to anything. How can you build a legacy if you don't establish it? The reason that we like Pete Dunne is because he's held that title for so long.
Nah, it's about the money.
All about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah, man.
So that's all we got to say tonight. Nothing more.
I think I'm done.
You think I'm done? Like flush and wipe done?
I mean, I think we've had a good constructive show.
All right.
Yeah, I've had a good time.
Cool.
I think I'm ready to.
You know what I think you should do? Mark out like no one's watching.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.